Welcome back, and now to tech.
Eris, powering your digital world.
Welcome back, and joining us now with the latest consumer trends around the world is Dr. Vili Abraham of the Technology Marketing Department at Sapir Academic College. Sapir. I'm still getting the names right. And also we have Miran Showerman, who is from the Maccabea, and we'll be talking to you in a moment. But first, let's talk about Airbnb. It's amazing. I'm new to this show, and every day there just seems to be something,
a lot of things going on.
And like all at once.
Yeah.
So tell me, Airbnb is now getting into the more premier experience for consumers?
Yeah, well, there's a large population that never wanted to stay in their rooms because of, they want the amenities that are available in upscale hotels. And the thing is that most of the people who would go and stay in their rooms are the young millennials, which are looking for adventure, and they want to stay in places where they can feel the culture and embed themselves in the culture.
But they're not looking for the designer sheets.
They are willing to give up on a lot of things and to save money. So I think it's a great idea because it means that they will expand their market share considerably. They're available in 191 countries, thousands of cities. The market value is $31 billion, and I think this will only increase it significantly.
Do you think overall if Airbnb keeps going in the direction it's going, what's going to happen to the hotel industry?
Well, now they're going to be in serious trouble because until now they weren't really threatened because, the people who wouldn't go to hotels, they would stay in these rooms.
Right.
But now that you can get, coffee, tea, and everything that you would get in a normal hotel, but for a relatively cheaper price, considerably cheaper price, that's a serious threat.
The whole world is changing. It's unbelievable.
I just want to mention that they're larger or bigger than Hilton, Marriott, and Intercontinental combined.
And so fast. We just started hearing about them. I moved here from New York. Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. All right, Netflix, interesting because I love that they have all these new shows. I have kids, and there's always these new shows, but now they have a program where kids could actually choose their own plots while they're watching it?
Exactly. So they have two programs. They have Puss in Book and Buddy Thunderstruck. And the kids who watch it can actually decide in different points in the plot which direction, how it's going to develop, steer it in different directions. And I think it's really nice because kids really want something interactive, something that they can decide in what direction it's going. And this is going to be especially popular among the Z generation because they really like to be...
Z generation. So Z generation is exactly what? Kids that are young now, or...?
Yeah, well, these are people who were born sometime between 2000 and 2012. So they're 12, 17 years old.
What's going to happen after the Z generation? There's no other letters to go to. We're going to have to get into the Hebrew alphabet. We're going to have to go into
That's true.
None.
And by the way, I think Netflix is now posing. First of all, it's leading the market. It's taking the whole industry into a different direction. Its budget is 3 times as much as HBO with $6 billion. So it's really leading the whole industry to a very different direction. Although it is saying that it cannot guarantee that it will continue producing such films because it's much more expensive. You have to create different plots.
Right.
And it takes much longer.
Right. But
so
still,
it's experimental. I want to see how consumers engage.
But if it works, it could be the future. Okay, now also Snapchat, which just seems to be in the news every day, getting into Snap Maps. So is this kind of meant to compete with Waze and Google Maps, or is this something totally different or complementary?
Okay, well, I think it's complementary. First of all, a few points about Snapchat. So first of all, it's losing users. It has 166 million users, which is less than other social networks. But it's very popular among young millennials. We're talking about people in the ages 18 to 24. And I think they're trying to bring up interest or increase the number of users. And this is one way it's doing it. So what you need to do is in the home screen, you pinch it, okay, and then you see a map with all sorts of people, your friends, where they are, okay? And this is how you can actually know where they are. You can join them. You can see their stories. And the purpose is really to make people step out of the social network, go out and socialize.
Right.
And I think it's nice for the people who are using it, the teenagers.
To force them to
force
actually
them
have
to go
human
out.
interaction
really
rather
nice.
than they're not. All right, Boeing self-flying planes. Another trend this week is self-flying planes, but Boeing is Boeing.
Yeah, it's really fascinating because today Boeing can take off, cruise, land with minimal human intervention. They want to take this a step further. They want it to be able to navigate completely with minimal intervention. And one of the reasons they're doing it is because if they're looking into the future, in 20 years, we'll need 41,000 more airplanes, and it means that we need more pilots, and pilots are very expensive. So they're actually trying to decrease expenses. Unfortunately,
would you want to fly on a pilotless plane?
Well, there's going to be somebody there. It's not going to be completely pilotless, okay? But less, meaning if you take a long trip and you need 6 people to be there, there will be only 2. So you're saving a lot of money. And this comes in the backdrop of driverless cars, driverless buses that you've spoken about
I never thought as a kid that the Jetsons would become a reality, but that was my favorite cartoon. But thank you so much. Very interesting stuff. And now, meanwhile, a big celebration of the 20th Maccabee Games in a few weeks. And what's new and unique this time around? Joining us now is Miron Schuerman, IT Systems Director of, I say Maccabee because I'm American, but it's really Maccabea, right. Correct? Welcome to the show, and I know it's very exciting, and you know, there's a lot of new things that are going to be happening this year. But I want to talk a little bit about the history, because I was doing some research when I was preparing this interview. I didn't realize that all of these things happened, that there was a revolt in 1929, and all of these things really happened to prevent the games from starting, from beginning.
Well, that's true. But just before we start, there's not going to be a participant-free event like a pilotless plane. So
they're not going to have clones.
Right. We are not going to have clones and robots. So the Maccabea started as an idea of a young Israeli named Ikutieli, and his idea was the foundation of the first Maccabea in 1932. We have, every 4 years, we have the games, except the time during World War II. This Maccabea is special. It is the 20th Maccabea. It's 85 years for the first Maccabea.
And more than 1,800 years of the Bar Kokhba rebellion.
Right, and 50 years for the liberation of Jerusalem. The Maccabea is an amazing event from Jews around the world. People don't understand that it is the 3rd largest sport event in the world. The first one, of course, is the Olympic Games, but not by far. Just to give you some figures, the London Olympics was about 12,500 people. The Maccabea is about 10,000 people. The second event is the University Games, and the Maccabea is the 3rd. We have delegations from 80 countries, even from remote places, which we call them lost communities, like Barbados, Curacao, China, amazing. Taiwan, Vietnam, South Korea, and places like this. During the Maccabea, we are going to provide accommodation and help others get accommodation for about 30,000 people, which means about 150,000 bed nights, which is also good for the tourist economy.
It's great. Listen, I wish we had more time, but thank you. I wish we had more time, but we still have some more stories to do, and hopefully we'll be able to provide a lot of good content from the games itself. So thank you, and Shabbat Shalom.
If I can say just one sentence about the technology.
Yes.
Technology is very big in the Maccabea. We have a great system from Taldor, an Israeli company, and we have a fantastic system that we have contact with every single staff and participant within this Maccabea. So it's new.
So there's a lot of news. There's a lot of news. Great. Well, thank you so much, and have a great weekend, and we look forward to the games.
Thank you very much.
And meanwhile, another very cool story. Over 100 college and junior high school students are rocketing their science experiments into space. NASA launched a rocket yesterday 72 miles into space. It's a unique short mission testing 24 scientific theories, measuring things like radiation, humidity, acceleration. The Rock-On rocket is expected to land in the Atlantic, and it would be cool to find out the result of these experiments. Meanwhile, coming up, 80s fashion making a comeback in jewelry and denim. Fashion expert Joe Greenbaum will be here to talk about it.